This video is brought to you by Bantio TCG.
What's up guys, Cardog here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the UlforceVeedramon deck from BT-22. So with the support from BT-22, the deck got a little bit of support, so might as well update the deck. And there aren't actually that many changes, but the changes that we did get are pretty nice. So we'll just go over the changes that we have and how the deck kind of runs now. So for the Digimon, you're still running 4 of the Wanyamon. So Wanyamon is here for your draws. When you attack, if you have a blue Tamer on the board, you can draw one, so that's pretty easy to fill. The alternative you can run is the Demi-Vmon. The promo Demi-Vmon, which is whenever a blue Tamer is played, you can draw one. But I honestly think they are pretty comparable. That one doesn't require you to attack, but it does require you to play a blue Tamer, which happens quite a lot in this deck, but I think it happens just as much as you probably would if you're attacking. And this card is a little bit easier to get right now. If you don't go to the shop tournaments, you might not have access to the Demi-Vmons. So yeah, we're running the Wanyamon here. And then moving on to level 6s, we're running 4 of the UlforceVeedramon from BT-11. This is still the best Ulforce that we have. It's still really, really strong, and with a new arena, it's pretty stonks. So its ability is on evolution, you can play a blue Tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost, and then on your turn, whenever a blue Tamer is played, you can unsuspend. So this ability is kind of the ability that enables you to turn kill. So this is good. And then the third ability is once per turn, whenever this card unsuspends, you can return one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon to the owner's hand, and then increase the maximum this level can choose by 1 for every blue Tamer you have in play. So you can potentially bounce really, really high level Digimons. So it's a really strong ability overall, and I think most decks you see will be seeing it ran out 4. As a support, we are running 2 of the UlforceVeedramon Ace. So this is the new Ulforce we got. It is an Ace Digimon, so it's pretty useful for that. But the main ability for this one is on play and on evolution, you can activate one of the following abilities, which is to either return one of your opponent's lowest level Digimon to the bottom of the deck, or you can play a cost 4 or lower blue Tamer from your hand without paying its cost. So the ability is okay. It's not amazing, but it is an Ace Digimon, so if you are stuck on a level 5 on your turn, you can potentially use this to disrupt your opponent if you can. And then the third ability, or the second ability, is on attack you can unsuspend. So you can unsuspend once, so you can't really do the turn kill combo with this, or with this, like you can with this, but it's still an extra attack you can do, so it's pretty nice. So we are running 2 of those, and then we're also running 2 of the UlforceVeedramon X Antibody. This card, you can actually run the Omnimon X if you want, but I'm running 2 of these just for the thematic, just to make it more thematic. But you can run 1 of the X Antibody, and then you can run the Omnimon X Antibody if you want, because yeah, they both serve similar purposes, and that is searchable in this deck because it's blue. So the ability for this card is when you evolve, you can unsuspend this Digimon or one of your blue Tamers, and then on all turns, whenever this Digimon unsuspends, if you have blue Tamer in play or if you have Ulforce in the evolution source, you can return one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to your hand. So the good thing about X Antibody is, unlike its other forms, unlike other X Antibodies, you don't really need to have the Ulforce in the source in order for you to activate the ability. You can have a blue Tamer in play instead. So if you are stuck and you don't have any of these in your hand, you can just Digivolve into this, and that works as well, although it's obviously not as strong. But yeah, it's still okay. Next, we are running 3 of the Aerial Veedramon from BT-22. This is a new one. Its ability is on play and on evolution, you can return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to the bottom of the deck. And then at the end of turn, one of your blue Digimon or Tamers can unsuspend. And then when this Digimon, for the inherit ability, when this Digimon with Veedramon is suspends, you can have, Next, for the level 5s, we are running 3 copies of the Aerial Veedramon. So this is the new Veedramon we got. And its ability is on play and evolution. You can return one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to the bottom of the deck. And then the second ability is at the end of return, you can choose one of your blue Digimon or Tamers, and they can unsuspend. And then the inherit ability is when this Digimon with Veedramon and its name suspends, you can, if you have a blue Tamer, you can unsuspend. So this one also enables you to get an extra attack, which is pretty nice. But we are running 3 of these just because I do want to run 4 of the BT-11 aerial Veedramon. But both of them, if you want to run 3 of these and 4 of these, that's perfectly fine as well. Some people might prefer the unsuspend, but the the aerial Veedramon's inherit ability for this BT-11 lets you proc another arena ability, so that's pretty good. So yeah, and also on this one, on evolution, during main phase, you can always rest this and search your deck for top 3 and add all the Tamers to your hand. So if you're stuck on not having any Tamers in your hand, you can always use this to just grab a bunch, which is really good. And yeah, I feel like the Tamer search is pretty important in this deck, since you really need to have a bunch of Tamers in order for you to go off and do your OTK. So yeah. But if you feel like, oh, I usually draw enough Tamers, and I don't need to have that many, you can definitely cut this down to 3 and then run this at 4. And the another alternative is to run the Ulforce that gives you security check +1. And when you have really nice draws, that card can go off a lot just because you can do you can do less attacks and you need to have less Tamers in your hand. But yeah, that one's a little bit more high rolly. So I don't like to run that, but if you like to do big chunks of checks, you can definitely run that instead. So yeah. And then we are also running 4 of the Veedramon from BT-22. This is the new one. On evolution, you can play a Veedramon Tamer card from your hand with a pain's cost if you have 1 less Tamers. So basically, this is like a power cut version of those Tamer plays, because this one doesn't restrict you to arenas. You can also play the Taichi, since it does mention Veedramon in its card, so it's pretty good. So running 4 of those, and then the inherent ability is if one of your Veedramons would leave the battle area, you can rest it to prevent it from leaving. So it's protection, which is good because the new one, usually when you attack with this one and you attack with arena, you can play another Tamer, so it'll be unsuspended. So if your opponent does ace you, given it's not a DP minus, you can protect itself. So protect itself from leaving the board, which is really nice. So yeah. And then we're also running 4 of the promo Veedramon. This one's really expensive, so if you don't have it, you can definitely run an alternative Veedramon if you want. But I got it when it was cheap, so not too big of a problem. This ability is on play and evolution. You can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a Digimon with Veedramon in his name, as well as 1 blue Tamer card, and put the rest at the bottom. So this is a really strong searcher. And then the inherent ability is when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, you can gain 1 memory. So overall, just really strong. And if you don't have access to this, you can run a older Veedramon. Which one you pick is really up to you. You can also run some non-Veedramon cards if you want. There's some good utility cards, and you can also run like hybrid cards that you can use to Digiguard your Tamers, so you can attack with them if you need. But ideally, if you do have these Veedramon, you can run 4 of these. Next, we're also running 2 of the BT-11 Veedramon. This one is whenever a blue Tamer is played, you can draw a card. This card's not great. We're just running this just because I think this is one of the better Veedramons that we have. And I like its inherent ability. So whenever a blue Tamer is played, you can get 1 memory. So you can use this to kind of keep your turn with the Ulforce. Mainly it's here for the inherit. The main ability doesn't really come in too often because you're not going to be playing your Tamers at level 4. Most of the time you'll be playing them for free, either with this or this. You're not going to be hard casting all the time. If you are, you're probably in a pretty bad spot, or you have a Taichi in your hand and you really want to get it out, then you can get it. You play it if you're trying to memory trick your opponent. Next, for the level 3s, we are running 4 of the Vmon from BT-22. This one is one of those newer abilities where if you Digivolve into Veedramon, you can have the cost -1, so you can potentially Digivolve these into these for 1 cost, which is really nice. And then the inheritability is the same as new Veedramon. Whenever this Digimon with Veedramon in its name would leave the battle area, you can rest this Digimon to have it not leave. So it's really strong, just because level 3 inherit that gives you protections is nice. And then the next level 3s we're running is the BT-11 Vmon. This is the Searcher. Lets you look at top 3 and grab a Veedramon card, as well as a blue Tamer. So it's good. Next, we are running 3 copies of the Vmon from SD8. This one lets you warp to Ulforce if you have if your opponent has level 61 on the board. Given that it does cost 4 costs, so it's kind of expensive, but this Veedramon costs 4 anyway, so it's fine. This one just helps you catch up. If you're down a tower and you have this in the raising area, you can push out next turn to just go into this quick and easy. And the upside with this deck now is we do have a Rina that gives jamming. So being a level 6 with no inheritability is not too bad. Given your stack doesn't give you DP plus anyway, but you can kind of treat the new Rina as an inheritability. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then the inheritability is if you have 7 less cards in your hand, when you attack, and draw 1, which is nice as well. Helps you replenish some hand and dig through your deck if you still don't have enough Tamers somehow. Next, for the Tamers, we're running 3 copies of the Rina. So Rina is a memory setter, and it's also on play. You can give one of your Veedramons plus 3k. So helps you beef up your DP a little bit if you need to beat over Digimon, but most of the time you can kind of use this, use your Ulforce's ability to bounce stuff. So not too big of a problem. But the other ability is whenever your Veedramon attacks, you can return this Digimon, return this Tamer back to your hand to give it jamming, which is really good. So it lets you attack earlier with your smaller boys, so that you can just do some chip damage, and if you Digivolve into Ulforce, you can probably go for a game. And yeah, it's just really good. Having jamming is very nice, just because in the older deck, you had to kind of splash in other cards to give it jamming, but now the deck has kind of like a built-in jamming, which is really nice. Because in older build, dying against a security card happens quite a bit, so that's why people have to run jamming. But now it comes with Tamer. It comes with its own setter, so it's really good. And then next we're running 4 copies of the Rina from BT-11. This card is still the GOAT. It sure is really good. On play, it gives blocker and evade. Evade doesn't really matter now, but the blocker is nice. And then on both players' turn, whenever a Veedramon suspends, you can rest this Tamer to activate its on evolution ability, which is nice as well. And then on your turn, whenever a blue Digimon unsuspends, you can get 1 memory. So good card. Good card is good. I think this card's still really expensive, so I'm glad it's getting a reprint, but good for those who haven't picked them up yet and still want to play Veedramon. I think it's coming a bit later though, so you might have to wait, but you know, at least you have access to it. And then last but not least, we're running 2 copies of the Taichi. So this is Taichi, the promo Taichi. If you have Veedramon on the board, you can choose, you can rest this Tamer to activate one of the abilities, either draw 1 or get 1k. Most of the time you'll be using this to get your draws. The reason I'm running 2 of these is just because it is a 2 cost to hardcast. So if you want to memory trick opponent, this is one of the really good options to do so. And it's also really it's just a really cheap Tamer to get out early, because a lot of your abilities do require you to have a blue Tamer on the board. And it's also search target. So yeah, it's nice. And if you don't want to run them, you can definitely run a 4th Rina if you want, but I don't feel like you really need 4 Rinas. So we're running 2 copies of the Taichi. If you don't want to run it, another option you can run is the old Rina from BT-2. This one on play just lets you look at the top 3 and grab a V name card. So she's still good, but I think Taichi is a reusable draw, so it's pretty nice for that. And you can kind of, if you are attacking with your Veedramon, you attack, and then you activate its ability again and play a Tamer. You can play this out, and then before you do another attack with your Veedramon, you can rest the Taichi to get a draw. So if you need to dig your deck for more Tamers, this is another way you can do it. Just get more combo pieces before ending your turn. So yeah, it's nice. And then for the options, we're running 3 copies of the training. We're not running memory boost in this deck just because I do like training a little bit more because it helps you grab Tamers as well. Sometimes when I was running the memory boost, I flipped 3 Tamers and they all went bottom of the deck, so I was like, oh geez. So, you know, Tamers kind of, the trainings help you prevent that from happening. It's pretty nice. And then we're also running 2 copies of the Scramble. Card's just good, helps you reuse your combo pieces, and also helps you set up. So you can get if you need to have a UlforceVeedramon on the board, you can kind of set it up for that, and then just go into your Ulforce if you need to. So yeah, it's good. Of course, it won't be able to attack because it doesn't have Rush, but having a big body on the board also helps. You can maybe use it to block on your opponent's turn. So yeah, it's nice. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck play. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to build the deck, feel free to go to BT-22 and use coupon code CARLTACTO, that's 0725, for 3% off on checkout for all Digimon products. Yeah, overall, very happy with the support. Honestly, the changes aren't a lot just because the deck plays very similarly, unlike Gallimon, which has a lot of different builds. Ulforce is still kind of similar. I know people use like Ulforce for other top ends, but if you want to run like a full Veedramon line, we're kind of stuck with this for now. There are other techs that you can run in the deck if you want. That's not Veedramon, but as a Veedramon stand, I'm going to run a pure tribal deck for them. So yeah, but it's up to you guys to experiment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, I'll put links down below. If you are buying English, you can use the TGG player links down below instead, or Card Trader. But yeah, this is Kartaku, and I'll see you guys next time. Sorry for the delay in uploads. I am juggling between Digimon and Gundam now, so I had to open those stuff and play around with the game just because it is new. But Digimon's still very fun, so I'm excited for this deck. So this is the first thing I build. But yeah, this is Kartaku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!